Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jaggernaut, and today I want to talk to you about the upcoming marathon in World of Tanks. Now, this has been the talk around town in the World of Tanks community for a long time now, so I expect that the vast majority of the active players of the game have heard about this and know what to do, but in the off chance that some of you haven't, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the upcoming marathon, and I'm also going to tell you about the some of the content that I'm going to record related to this marathon. So, let's get into it right away. The upcoming marathon, I'm going to display how it's going to look like, is going to be right here. So you can see currently we have 3 chapters of the Battle Pass. The marathon is going to be a sort of quote-unquote hidden or secret 4th chapter that will drop at some point during this season. Now, when this drops, what you need to do is you need to stop playing whichever of the 3 seasons you're on right now, or not seasons, sorry, whichever of the 3 parts, I guess, or chapters you are right now, and you need to go to the 4th one. So you would imagine this is the 4th one, you would click it, and you would go activate chapter. You do not need to finish your active chapter in order to move on to the marathon. Now, which one of them is the marathon chapter? Well, the 4th one, the one that isn't these 3, but what is the actual difference? Well, if you complete these regular chapters, basically you have a lot of time to do it, like I think a couple of months or something along those lines. You have a lot of time to do these. The marathon chapter will probably be a little bit more time sensitive, but much more importantly, the marathon chapter is going to have unique rewards in the shape of a premium tank. These guys, or these 3 chapters, only give you a skin for an already existing tank. So it's very worth doing the marathon chapter. Now, how exactly do you go about doing it? So you've activated the chapter. Make sure you don't need to actually finish any of the active seasons. You can just go to it immediately as soon as it pops up. But how do you actually finish it on time, and what's it going to be like? Well, first things first. I would recommend highly that every day you do the daily missions. I've already done them today, as you can see, but I would recommend that you absolutely do them every single day because they give you a huge amount of Battle Pass points. On top of that, I would recommend that right now, if you're playing the game, you go and prepare your Tier 6 tanks. What do I mean by prepare these tanks? Well, I have one prepared today, and that is the T-3485. See, what you want to do with your Tier 6 tanks specifically, with all of them, is you want to get them to 95, 97, 90-something points out of 100 of the tank limit for Battle Pass, right? The reason for doing this is when the Battle Pass, or when the Marathon begins, when you activate it, you will play one battle in each of your Tier 6 tanks, and you will get the bonus for reaching the point limit with all of these tanks. Bear in mind, you can do this with Tier 7s as well, but the limit is 250 versus 100, so this is much easier to do. I think you can get to the 100 limit in like 20 games, 20-something games, maybe, depending on your average scores and so on, and your win ratio and so on and so forth. But there you go. So for being top 3 in experience, you get 7 for a victory, 5 for a defeat. For top 10, 5 for a victory, 3 for a defeat. There you go. So you can do the math based on that. So you want to set up all of your tanks like this, all of your Tier 6s, and I have well, a fair few. Some of them I'm not playing, a couple of them are rental, but yeah, I'm going to set these tanks up, and the idea is that once the Battle Pass, once the Marathon, the 4th stage of the Battle Pass begins, you simply do one game in all of these, get them up to 100, and Bob's your uncle, you're done. You get 15 points for each of them. This will skyrocket your progress, and you'll be able to finish the Marathon a lot quicker. This means that this will probably be one of the easiest marathons to complete. Previously, even though the number of games that you need to play might still actually remain somewhat similar, depending on your skill level, of course. This time round, though, unlike last time, where you needed to play the game for 10 days for a fairly ludicrous amount of hours in order to get the tank for free completely, here what you need to do is you need to play the game regularly for not that many hours, prepare the tanks, and then do all the tanks, finish up all the tanks to 100, basically top them off. Once the chapter is active, finish all the daily missions, and you should receive your tank. There might be a little bit more grinding there, but basically that should be it, right? So, It doesn't require a heap of hours in one day or in 10 days, but rather a consistent, steady stream of playing the game over a lengthier period of time, which in my modest opinion, for the vast majority of the players, is much easier both on your brain cells and on you and your time and your busy schedules as individuals, right? There we go. So that was that's the whole thing. That's what you need to do, explained in 6 minutes. Could it be done a little bit faster? Yes, but I wanted to make sure we cover all our possible questions and everything. Sorry, someone just screamed in the other room. I'm going to go and check out what that's all about. And I'll leave you with 1 or 2 replays with some of the Tier 6 tanks that I've been playing and that, while I've been getting ready for the marathon. So the next few days I'm going to get ready and get these tanks ready. T-3485 is done, KV-85 is next, STRV, Cromwell Berlin, Hellcat, light tanks are probably going to leave last. I also have some tank destroyers and so on and so forth. Bear in mind, especially for the T-3485, my results in this tank are god-awful, because I haven't played this tank since like 9 years ago or something along those lines, I think. So all of the stats that I have on this vehicle, and I'm not afraid to show them, like, I don't care, who cares about stats, right? It's World of Tanks, who cares about stats? You only care about stats if you do 0 damage, if some of your teammates do 0 damage or something, and then you're like, oh god, look at his win ratio, that's the only stat people look at. So yeah, damage caused to enemies 600, damage received 672, assistance 200. I'm playing for 800 combined with this thing over the course of 150 battles. Except I'm not. I'm playing for this amount, or rather I was playing for this amount about 8 or 9 years ago. Ever since then I have not touched this tank, so you know, oddly enough it is one of my most played tanks on the account. But yeah, there you go. It's dreadful, obviously. But yeah, just bear that in mind that this is just the vehicle that I haven't played in so long, and this is the tank I've used to learn the game, basically. All right, let's get into those replays. Now. Alright, let's begin. It's not actually the Carnarvon Action 10 that I'm playing with, but I really want to show you some of the new loading screens. If there's some among you that are the veteran players but haven't. Loading screens are bloody gorgeous. I mean, literally all of them, right? They are fracking amazing. So, we have today for you on the repertoire a game on steps. This is, I believe, just after I got my first Mark of Excellence, something along those lines. Bear in mind, I play most of my games, or most of my tanks, stock and then grind out all the equipment, and I don't free XP most things. Very, very rarely do I actually free XP something, so keep that in mind. That, you know, if you go on TanksGG or something and look at my stats and you see that they're not the most amazing, but I still get second Mark of Excellence fairly consistently on the tanks I play, that's part of the reason. So, with that in mind, I do want to show off the tank a little bit. Probably my favourite decal in the game, the one with the Arta nerf and everything. For one, and also I'm sticking with the same theme with the stickers on the side. Here's the thing, we're going to take up this advanced position right here, and we're going to spot this Patriot and the Jagdpanther over there, and we have some nice assisting damage and regular damage to begin with. That guy is going to be a bit of a nuisance, and you can see him going for me right there. Of course, I managed to move out of the way just in time, and he misses the shot, and I realise this is going to be trouble. So first I bounce off him. I'm going to try and actually give you my proper view here. So there is a small spot I can penetrate him there, and there we go. Luckily, I think the Rheinmetall Borsig Waffenträger shot him, or something else from the back, and took a huge chunk of his health off. I am being spotted, by the way, by this AMX over here somewhere, and by the Patriot every time I peek around this bush to sort of that line right there. So bear that in mind as the battle continues. But anyway, for now, just scanning targets around, looking for something to shoot. Score's fairly even. We do lead a fair bit on, whatchamacallit, on hit points. And then the AMX makes a pretty silly mistake, and my gun doesn't behave all that well, but it's a great gun. I mean, this is a beautiful tank, don't get me wrong. It's one of the best tier 6 medium tanks. I can't really complain, but I'm having a consistent results with it. And here the Patriot spots me without me actually peeking around the corner that much. And so now I'm down to half my HP. And this is part of the problem with the consistency of this ability is fairly low. I'm having problems with it, you know, because like sometimes you're gonna absolutely dominate the lower tiers, no questions asked. But you get into tier 8 battles and you have no survivability. You have very low alpha damage. You can spot, but you can also get outspotted, as you saw. So yeah, it's a challenging tank to play at higher tiers. I mean, every tank is, but yeah. I'm having some problem consistently. Part of the reason is I don't really play it all that often, all that much. I'll get into like a streak of 10-20 games with it, and then I'll leave it and move on to something else. I haven't really focused on this tank in a while. It reminds me a lot of the Cromwell and the Cromwell Berlin in many aspects. It does have some differences with terms of its overall the shape and the size of the thing. Its DPM is kind of similar. Its survivability is very low, just like Cromwell's. I think it's quite a similar vehicle in many aspects. I do have a relatively decent crew with it as well. Nowhere near as good as on my Cromwells, of course, but hey, it is what it is. Alright, so push, perhaps there is a T-3485M sitting in there. I'm not sure if I actually hit one of those or not. I don't think I have the battle results screen. Actually, no, I can now see that I didn't because that guy's on full HP. Alright, so we have an AMX in the background. I get spotted again, and this is where I'm starting to freak out now, because, like, what the hell is spotting me? I know it's not the T-34, it's not the Tiger, it's not the AMX, because I just saw him go around the rock. Is it the SDRV? And I figure it has to be that happening, but yeah, apparently not. Anyways, the Waffenträger nails the French light tank, and we can move around a lot more freely. And you can see our AMX in the back over there. Way over there in the background is going to pick a fight with the enemy STRV. It doesn't matter if he wins or not, that clears me a path forward, so I can now actually move and start improving this score, which started off okay, but I got a little bit stuck, so I wasn't able to do all that much in the end, or up until now, rather, not in the end. Alright, let's move up, and I'm going to... Well, far from the battle here in the middle for the STRV, I have no idea where he's going, but it doesn't matter, I'm faster than he is, and I'm going to get into some areas here where he won't be able to get shots at me. That's not the point, though. The point is over here. Everything is spotted, right? I know where every enemy tank is, apart from the GW Panther. So, in accordance to that, I am going to move out. I know for sure there's no snipers there, nothing back there. So I feel safe making this move, and very importantly here, I feel safe sitting out in the open, killing the artillery. And bam, 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 the Hummel is dead, and I can move out. I haven't been spotted, so all the more comfort for me to stay put and not do anything, and we're already at 1.2 thousand. Nothing too special and incredible, but there we go. We have our 4th kill of this game, and I'm looking up and I realise, well, first of all, I spot the GW Panther over there. He might take a shot at me, he might kill me. I don't want to turn around and deal with him right now. This is a much more important target. 406 HP on this thing, and it's mean. It has a mean gun, it has lots of damage, and it's completely blind. So, knock out the tracks. If he repairs them, yeah, he repaired them, I can run away, I'm faster. If he doesn't repair them, it's free damage. And he doesn't repair them, and there we go. So that wasn't the 5th kill, unfortunately, but it was a fair bit of assisting damage as well, and I'm playing for 1,600 already. And then the GW Panther. So here, I'm just going to move lightly to the side. As long as his gun is moving to the side as well, parallel with me, I know that his aim is going to be terrible. And there you go. Had I stood still, he definitely would have hit me, but this way, there's the 5th kill. Alright, there we go. Let's do one more battle. This one was, I think, a battle or two before that, or something along those lines. I remember I was pretty bummed out about the previous battle, previous to, the one prior to this one, because it ended in 2 minutes and 40 seconds, something like that, on a large open map with a score of 15-0. And I did a total of maybe 2 or 3 shots in that battle. It was terrible. So I'm playing fairly tilted, and it might explain one of my mistakes or rather towards the end of the battle, but for now, I set the AMX on fire, which was fairly lucky. Unfortunately, it's not enough to get him out of the battle, and we're going to have a bit of a problem here. I want you to pay attention to this Crusader, Lord12_25. Well, just pay attention to what he does. First of all, he peeks here and then takes a shot, I think, or no. Yeah, he takes a shot. Fairly normal behavior. I do pretty much a similar thing with the AMX, and the AMX is dead. Alright, good. Next. The VK is taking shots, and 2 of those could have easily been into me, so I'm like, nope, scoot over. Alright, and I'm actually in a decent position to start taking out the enemy light tank, or the other enemy light tank, the Super Chaffee. And the Super Chaffee is gone, but I'm spotted. I think it spotted me, and then the Crusader starts picking a fight with the building. The Cromwell kills the VK, which foolishly peeked around the corner. There's multiple guns, like, aiming right there. He wanted to side scrape, I guess, but the angle's all wrong. And then the Crusader does that, and then he continues fighting the building. I don't want to make a claim that this is a bot, but it's very much bot-like behavior. Because he keeps shooting it for so long, and I don't think he's frustrated because, well, it's very early on in the game, and it's like maybe he missed all his shots and now he's frustrated or something. There's going to be more about this, but for now, anyways, I find a shot on the VZ over there that just got spotted, and he is out, and I'm up to 1,000 damage. I'm trying to see if I can maybe find a shot there on the Cromwell or something. I will have Peeker's advantage if I side scrape like that, so I will be able to get the shot off first, and then the STRV does something very smart. The enemy STRV. He spots us here, which means I can't go past, remember, this line here, because I'll get shot from the TDs from over there, like all the way from over here. So I can't go past this line. I need to stay sort of in this parking space, if you will, right here. And he can't move either, because we have our own tanks closing in, but I reckon I'm happy with this. And then I'm completely shocked that this happens. The Crusader is firing HE only. Unfortunately, he gets ammo racked, but he's firing HE on the STRV, and he doesn't pen any of his HE shots. And he does like 6 damage to it, and that's it. Like I said, very, very suspicious behavior. I reckon I might be willing to take a shot here, and then I realize, oh, there's a Dicamax coming. Okay. So this guy's down to nothing. The Dicamax has a nasty, mean gun. Pay attention, he just fired. Okay, go. 1. I don't know if I can take 2 before he can return fire. I don't remember the exact rate of fire on the Dicamax. Speaker's advantage on the STRV, and there we go. That was the best play of the game thus far. Managed to eliminate the STRV, and well, the Dicamax pretty much got eliminated by the new tank destroyers back in the back, but, you know, whatever. We fought through it, and now we can push through. They have a TOG, so it goes to our advantage, but they also have two KV-2Rs, a Tiger 131 and a VK, and I think they're all on full HP more or less, which means, sorry, the guys in town failed to do almost any damage to the enemy. Yikes. And here I, unfortunately, take a little bit too long chasing after the enemy artillery. Something else somewhere else. So I thought, you know what, alright, he's not in here, he has to be in this sort of bush in the back, or in that bush in the back. Spoilers, he's not. But I took a little bit too long doing this. In retrospect, what I should have done is blind fired these two bushes. If I got spotted, I would have known he's there and moved on. Instead, I go down and check manually for no reason. I should have continued up this slope and ended up here sooner. Because now it's 9-8, and we're down 2,000 experience. The correct course of action here is to cap. Unfortunately, I don't care about winning. Well, okay, I do, but I care about my mark of excellence a lot more, and if I have the choice between capping and doing 2 more shots of damage in a situation where it's 9-8, I'd rather take the 2 extra shots of damage. So, yeah. And here I start to make some questionable decisions, let's say. First of all, I go in way too close with a medium tank. I do full HP, which gives me a little bit of confidence, and then my gun starts misbehaving. I mean, look at that. Right, I thought maybe he would peek out again. He's not stupid, he's not going to do that. He inches by a little bit. He's waiting for the KV-2s and the Tiger. Hold on, I'm doing this. The road to our base is empty as I'm pinging on the map right now. They could easily cap right here. So the correct course of action, in my modest opinion right now, is to have one of the G-Rows just sit in the cap circle. Force them to come in to us and out of the Type 64. Ouch. Okay, the plan is to kill that VK. And I got spotted. Alright, well, I managed to take out the KV-2R, that's good, and I'm feeling really good about myself, I'm feeling really powerful, and I really shouldn't. I'm in close quarters combat with a KV-2R and a VK on full health. I really shouldn't feel good. And then here I was like, okay, shoot, what do I do? Here I was expecting the G-Row to come sort of to this point and provide assistance. Maybe even the Tiger to do the same, because this is where the enemy is, down this road, right? Here's the VK. All they had to do, and I'm going to try and zoom out a little bit more, even though I can't, the G-Row had to move a little bit over there, and he would have been able to take shots down this road and help me out. Instead, I'm all alone. And, yeah, I really shouldn't have peeked here. KV-2's right freaking there. I mean, I called it, but I had to know, because, like, the alternative is him going across and coming up behind me, and, like, either way, this is pretty much the same result would have happened. Maybe I would have gotten, like, 1 more shot off. I'd take 1 more shot into the VK. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with this. 2,000, 1.9 thousand damage, 100 assisting. That's with a minute left, the VK goes back into the cap circle, the G-Row leaves it. Like, what are you doing? We're down by 2,000 HP and you're leaving the cap circle. Anyway, the VK goes back and caps within, like, the remaining 59 seconds. These guys just do not move up at all to try and stop him, and that's where the battle ends. These were, like, the two, I think, the two most interesting battles of the day. Not the most... Not the greatest result-wise, but I think they were fairly interesting, and I wanted to show them to you guys along with this video to, you know, also highlight the kind of content that I'm going to be making for the duration of the marathon in World of Tanks. On the days that I do play the game, I will record either some live games or some replays like this to basically show you my road through the marathon and Previously, I called these, like this series of videos, when I do the World of Tanks Marathon, I called it my slow descent into madness. I don't think it's going to happen here, because it's a lot simpler of a marathon, it's a lot less stressful, and it's a lot easier to do. But anyways, I will be doing these videos for you regardless. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all in the next few videos for World of Tanks, I suppose, when the marathon comes out, and for the regular stuff on the channel, like Escape from Tarkov, The First Impressions, Mass Effect, so on and so forth. Alright, see you then. Have fun, take care, and bye-bye.